Hey folks, welcome to another new series I'm presenting called Biomag Basics. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know organically over the past year, it's pretty much a one-year anniversary for me, that I learned about biomagnetic healing, and I've attended seminars, hosted seminars with Dr. Luis Garcia, and actively been using biomagnetic placements both personally, with others, physically and remotely, and getting really good results. And I want to train everyone here how we can learn to do this to with ourselves and with our children. And I want to just show you, you're going to need some magnets in order to do this, but I want to give everybody the opportunity to learn the art of biomag healing. And here's Dr. Garcia's Biomag Bible, which I'll get into in a minute. But one of the things I just put together was emotional placements for what we're feeling now with all the intensity of the world going on. And I put together from Dr. Garcia's Bible some of these placements that can help us, and I'll get into that in a minute. But what I wanted to bring your attention to is Dr. Garcia's site here, usbiomag.com, usbiomag.com. And let's go over briefly, this is Basic 101, US Biomagnetism. What is biomagnetism therapy? It's a revolutionary scientific and therapeutic approach to wellness that differs from traditional medicine, homeopathy, herbs, and natural therapies. It's perfectly compatible with any other traditional alternative modality internationally practiced that strives to attain bioenergetic balance in the human body. The state of natural health is known as homeostasis. It involves the precise and proper north-south placements of special high field strength magnets over very specific areas of the body to support regulation of pH in these areas. By maintaining adequate pH, homeostasis may be reestablished so that the body can heal itself. This therapy stimulates normal immune system functions, increased circulation and oxygenation, normalizing response to inflammation, and many more positive effects on our body. It is believed that the pH imbalances may ultimately accumulate and combine to allow the development of symptoms, syndromes, and other health conditions in our body. Everyone has an aquarium. There's an example of how this works. Everyone has an aquarium of a pool, knows of the importance of pH balance in the water. We are no different. We've been pushed out to a super acidic state. We need to bring us back into homeostasis or balance. Our body is made up of 65% water and has a very specific pH balance that it needs to maintain if we are to remain healthy. If we reestablish our body's pH in our liver, lungs, pancreas, kidneys, muscles, joints, stomach, small intestines, large intestines, then these organs may be beginning to work correctly. And also to add to this, Dr. Garcia said that 80% or more of our issues are caused by emotional imbalance, emotional problems. So we're going to get into the emotions since everybody's feeling these emotions right now. So how does biomagnetic placements work? Well, at specific locations of the body, it establishes the proper pH. When present, pathogens cannot survive in this environment. Cells become healthy and the body starts healing itself. The healing process occurs when the pH is balanced and reaches its optimum level that determines the well-being of the person, which before the therapy was altered by the presence of a pathogenic microorganisms that distorted the levels of acidity and alkalinity of the organs. This is what sustains the bioenergetic phenomenon. We're dealing with subtle energy healing here, folks. And I've done a video on how magnets work and how it permeates in many different manifests in different energetic arenas to really focus on bringing you back to this idea of being homeostatic, where you're in harmony, where funguses, bacterias, pathogens, and viruses can't exist anymore. And that's our goal here. So here is Dr. Garcia under products here. These are the magnets. If you want to order magnets, I highly suggest you get these magnets here from Dr. Garcia. I personally like the small and the mediums. I don't use the large ones. I suggest you get 3 pairs. It'll probably cost you in the north of $60 to $70. If you want, you can go on Amazon and get the neodymium N52s, rare earth magnets, but they're not going to be labeled positive and negative. You're going to have to figure that out. They're harder to work with. These also have, I believe, a 7-year guarantee, and they're well worth the investment. Now, also, I recommend highly the Biomagnetism Practitioner's Guide. I call it the Biomagnetic Bible. This has all of the different placements, over 300 placements explained with different issues, and you can get started on treating more than just emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's all dialed in this incredible book, one of the most incredible incredible medical books ever produced. So you can get that and add this to the cart here. Dr. Garcia just added that. All right, so let's get into the emotions of how we can start mitigating and arresting and alleviating and dealing with these issues that we're having. And you can see there's two images on the page. I'm going to focus on the one that we're dealing with, anger. Irritation and anger caused by the feeling of having rights violated. Who isn't feeling that right now? And we're going to keep feeling this more. And you can see there's a red magnet and there's a black magnet, okay? These are the placements that go actually down. If you see the red here image, you just reverse it on the skin. The black, you reverse it on the skin. So when you get your magnets, or if you have your magnets, you're going to place the black, on the liver. And you can see the liver is very exact where you want to do this. And you can look up an anatomy chart to see exactly where a liver is. And you're going to place the magnet black down right below the bra line and right at the liver. The red corresponding will go right to the right of your heart, at your heart place, right to the left of the sternum here. This placement right here, put the red down. Now, if you live in the United States along the California to New York axis around there, you're going to put them on for 15, 16 minutes. If you live up north, up in the Canadian area, 20 to 22 minutes, leave them on. Leaving them on longer doesn't do anything. 15 to 20 minutes. If you're down further south, it can be less time. But the general guideline of putting these placements on is for 15 to 20 minutes generally. Again, if you're farther north, you leave it on longer towards the North Pole. Farther south, you can leave it on less time. All right, and this is part of the Biomag Bible. You can get this in the Bible, and Dr. Garcia keeps elevating it. Now, the other thing to understand about anger, are you angry that this is happening in the world, or is anger being levitated at you? People are being angry in many different ways. So this placement can help. And once you learn to scan, which we'll get into in another series here about scanning, you can understand that if this anger is coming out from inside of you, or you're feeling anger that's affecting your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of anger being placed upon you. Very important to distinguish that with your intention, which we'll get into in another Biomag series as well, setting your intention. All right, so here we have a placement for laziness. I'm not going to focus that on today, but you can see the placement. And here we have fear. Who isn't feeling fear? Fear can be flee everything and run if that's what you choose to accept, or it can be face everything and respond. You have a choice on how you respond. This is called free will. And you see these placements are at the patella, right on the kneecap. Black goes on the right. If you see the black, it goes face down. If you see the red, it goes face down. So black on your right knee, you're going to place a black magnet. And the corresponding polarity, because you're dealing with polarity, the poles between positive and negative forces. Red goes on the kneecap down. And you can use Scotch tape or masking tape, or I use painter's tape to hold it in place where you need to put these placements. All right? So fear, 50% of disease, and faith, 50% of the cure. The emotions are love and fear. And again, is the fear being placed on you by all the news media about the alleged coronavirus, or is fear emanating from you that you're taking it inward and bringing the fear back out? This will help alleviate a lot of the fear in you. And you can do these placements. You don't have to do them every day, but I mean, you can do them each day. And doing them several times a day isn't going to help. But the next day, whenever you're feeling anxiety, this can definitely help with the anxiety and alleviating the fear. All right, so here's another one, doubt. You can see the placements here, and when you get the muscle scan, you see there's two images up here on the hands, on the wrists, and also on the feet. You would do scanning to find out which placement you do, but you can do both placements if you're having doubt, you're not sure what to do in this environment we're in. Should I go out? Should I deal with this? Should I obey the warlords that are telling us we have to shelter in place and stay at home? This will give you some help in deciding. But again, you'll have to learn to muscle test, or You can just do both these placements. You cannot be harmed by putting the magnets in the wrong place. You will just not get the desired effect. That's important to understand. But here's the one I want to focus on down below, guilt. Who's feeling guilty right now? Who's feeling that guilt is being placed upon them for not doing more, that you might not be able to be providing for your children because you've lost your income and lost your job? You feel guilty. That's a very common emotion going on now. So you can see the placements are in the lung. And I highly encourage you to get up an anatomy chart. Just go on Google anatomy lung, and you'll see where the lungs are. But the placements are just inside the shoulder blades, and you can see he's got a little larger image. So I'd use the mediums, or if you have the large magnets, put them there. And again, this is the back side. So on the back, the black is going to go down on the right, and the red is going to go down on the left, just inside your scapulas, inside your shoulder blades where your lungs are inside, and set your attention to alleviate the feelings of guilt. Setting your intentions is very critical. All right, so this is the final one I'm doing here, and I'm sorry I don't have a better placement image. Maybe I do. Hang on. So here's a better image. So the top placement here, I'd suggest doing both these placements. You see trachea, heart, lack of ability or willingness to tolerate something in a social or political sense, absence of tolerance in other people's point of views, lack of attention. I think that's going on today. All right, so your trachea, again, I suggest getting out an anatomy chart, but here's where the placements go. Right to the right of your sternum here, on the right, again, black down, and then the red over here at your heart, red down. And you place the red down over your heart, the black down here to help with the intolerance. Set your intention to be more tolerant and to let others be more tolerant towards you. Again, we'll get into setting the intention, which is a very critical part of this whole process. And down here, sadness. Who isn't feeling sadness and grief over what's going on today in the world? Joy is the opposite emotion. Again, have I spoken about the ancient hieroglyphics on the Egyptian pyramids? When you ascended, they tested you with the Libra scales to put a heart in one side and a feather in the other to see if you lived your life as light as a heart and a feather, as light as a feather with your heart. Folks, we'll get through this, but there's going to be sadness, and sadness will be brought to you, and sadness will come from you from all that's going on today, a sense of loss, which we'll do another placement for in a minute. So again, this placement's for the lung. And the lung you see is on the left side here, so you'd add a magnet if you've got extra magnets, and you've already got one black here on the left on the lung. You just put it right on top of it. It'll stick together. So black down again, not black up as it's shown here. Reverse it, black down, and put another black on top. And then the other will go right at the back of your head. You see it's between your ears. And if you put your finger at the back of your skull here between the ears, you'll feel a little V, a crotch, a notch right in there. That's where the red placement goes. And that will help you with the sadness. And when life seems more painful, it'll bring more joy and more happiness to you. All right, and here's a couple more placements. Postpenial, cerebral, amygdala, depression, disorder of mood, transient or permanent, characterized by feelings of unhappiness and guilt. Who's not feeling that? Prevents the enjoyment of things and events in everyday life. Now, this placement's a little difficult to see. I'll redo it, but you can see the red goes down right above your hairline here. Again, get out the anatomy chart and you can see. And you can't really see the black on the postpenial, but the postpenial is right here, okay, right behind the center of your hair, behind the ears, okay. So it goes in line with the nose, right behind the ears, black down, red down right here, postpenial, cerebral, amygdala, and then you see the hippocampus, and he's showing two different placements, the same placement over here, but there could also be a placement of the red. The black would stay the same right here behind the ears, and the black would go, or the red would go right on the forehead, right in the middle of your forehead. Place a red for loneliness. You can do both these placements. You can leave the black on and do 15-20 minutes with this placement here, and then you could place the red over to the front of your forehead here, right where they say your third eye goes, and you would keep the black there and take the red off that way. This helps against deep depression. All right, and lack of effective or social contact. This is going to be a big placement for everyone because social contact is limiting us. All right, and this last one here, I'm sorry it's not a little bit clear, but this is jealousy and when evil is desired. You may want to put on the jealousy placement here. Again, it's the atlas, and you put it in the uterus, or for males, just below your belly button. There is the placement red. Are you jealous that others are having freedom? You're jealous that you're not able to make a living while others are. I mean, if that comes up, you can do this, but I'm more focused on this one when evil is desired. We're seeing evil being personified right now, okay? And again, it's hard to see the occipital bone. And again, if you're unsure about the placement, just type in, I typed in anatomy occipital bone and came up with this chart. And you can see where the crotch, the V of the neck here, where we did the medulla placement, directly above that is the occipital bone. So that's where you'd be putting this placement right here, okay, right between the ears, right back in here. And the other one is on the testicle or the vagina right here. Either way, it works both ways. But it's right at where the end of the penis would be, and you place a red down and a black down on the occipital. And this, again, the intention is when the evil is desired upon us, or if you desire to hurt somebody or you're feeling anger, this will help with alleviating those, and it's a great one for what we're experiencing today in this crazy world where we're finding ourselves in around the world. So these should help with your placements, folks. I hope this is possible to help you learn about how we can use biomagnetism to heal the world, to heal each other. And you will need some magnets in order to make this happen. And again, we're also cataloging coronavirus placements as well, which we'll get into in another video. If and when this alleged virus starts taking hold in California, they say over half the people in California over the next 8 weeks is going to attract the alleged coronavirus, and so we'll have some placements to help that as we go down the road. And also, we're offering our services that we can do remote scanning, 3 sessions, and dealing with a lot of different issues that we're going to be having. I would imagine that when they activate the 5G and they're going to have people come down with all these different maladies, that we'll have very, very common issues that we can find common placements. But if you need help, if you would like our services to do remote healing, we offer our services. I'm offering on a sliding scale. If you can't afford the $250, we can possibly negotiate and maybe do it for a little bit less, but we do need some help as well. So just contact me and we can speak about it as well. I also offer my services for hands-on healing, personal assistance, and how to do placements with the magnets. And I also have a 6-hour webinar. Again, I'll do it on a sliding scale because people need to learn this. If you can't afford the $250, includes a 1-hour consultation, and it's a 6-hour MP3 and MP4 recordings of how to self-heal. And it'd be great if you could learn this. You're at home, you can teach your children. And if anybody would like an astrology reading, for life purpose astrology reading, we're also offering that as well. All right, so that's the end of Biomag Healing 1, the basics. I hope you found it useful. Get the magnets, start applying them. I'd love to hear feedback from you. And we're going to solve this. We're going to heal each other. We're going to heal the world through this. This is forcing us to go within, forcing us to face our fears, and forcing us to know where stuff comes from, because we're all learning that if you don't know where things come from, you're being owned by the system. So get back to the gardens, get back to loving one another, and don't give in to the fear. Don't give in to all the hype that we have to fear this stuff. This, as we know now, is not a virus. The viruses is not what's causing this. You don't have any names of anybody dying allegedly. You see it on TV, you see it on your screen, you think it's to be true, but it's just not what's happening. Show no fear. Hug a friend. Show you're not going to give in to these guys in this whole fear campaign. Reach out your hand and shake and love one another. Just open your hearts. We're going to get through this, and we're going to do it through healing one another. And hopefully this video is the beginning of helping you all learn how to do that. Peace, love one another, and hug a friend.